Dr. Malcolm Butler quoted Dr. Peter Houck last week at a press conference, warning about the soaring incidence of COVID-19 in the Wenatchee Valley.
Yesterday, Peter Houck told me that he has never been as scared as he is now. So you have a physician who has spent his entire career fighting pandemics around the world, who has never been as scared as he is now.
Dr. Houck says he got it exactly right.
In my 32 years of working in public health, have never been this worried, have never been quite this frightened by a situation.
Dr. Houck used to chase down viruses for the CDC's Epidemic Intelligence Service. Back in August, he began consulting with the state incident team that helped manage the COVID-19 pandemic in Chelan and Douglas counties.
You'll see a large sort of a blob of dark orange color in the map of the United States. And dark color means a high incidence of COVID. So the darker the orange color, the worse things are. This dark blob began to grow, and then it gradually began to spread west. And in those states that were having such a huge problem, all kinds of bad stuff was going on. Their hospitals were overwhelmed, totally overwhelmed. Their morgues were overwhelmed. Their death rates went up.
With Thanksgiving approaching, he says, people must choose to follow all recommended public health steps: wearing a mask, socially distancing, staying home from gatherings, to keep the community from suffering even worse this winter.
I think each of us as individuals have to ask ourselves a couple of questions. And one of those questions is, how many deaths are we willing to tolerate in our community? You know, our neighbors, our family. I don't want to be one of them. And then the second question is, what are we willing to do to try to prevent those deaths? Because as I said, we have in our hands everything that is possible to do to prevent all of this suffering and death. But you'd have to decide finally what it is you're willing to do. You mean to protect yourself and your family immediately, but also your community.